another day. And yesterday I did the first ray, now I'm doing the second ray. And Cindy was explaining earlier that the rays, like the first ray was the throat chakra, now we're doing the crown. So yesterday was all about the throat. And I'll read that, and I think when I get towards the end, there's going to be a meditation. So just looking here. Yeah, there's a meditation. So we'll do that, and then that'll take, it's about 30 pages. So trying to understand the rays and the different gods and the spirits that work with them. Like I say, there's three different. So when I read this, it says the flame of illumination and wisdom. It's main God qualities. So the main qualities of it from God and actions of this second ray, which is the crown chakra, is illumination, wisdom, omniscience, understanding through love, perceptions, comprehension, participation, discrimination, and activations of the God's mind, the mind of God. So that's there. And the crown chakra, and the color is yellow, and the stone is tiger's eye or lapis golden topaz. And the Kohan of the second ray is Lord Lanto, the teacher of ancient wisdom. His retreat is the Great Hall of Illumination in the Grand Teton Mountain Range in Wyoming. Other masters serving the second ray are Gautama Buddha, Lord Maitreya, Sananda/Jesus, Master Kuthumi, and Confucius. The archangel of the second ray is Jophiel and Christine. Their retreat is in South Great Wall, China, the Temple of Illumination. The god or goddess is Miru, and Island of the Sun, Lake Titicaca, Bolivia. So Miru is from Lake Titicaca, Bolivia. So these are places you can ask to go to connect with these beings, to heal and get knowledge in that. And the Elohim of the second ray is Apollo and Lumina. Their retreat is in Saxony, Germany. So these are different places you can go when you're going to sleep or in your meditations, astral traveling, wanting to learn and grow. And this is where having the understanding and knowing. Hey, Joanne. Michael Sanchez is putting 11:11. So right now it's 10:11 for me. So I'm an hour behind you, Michael. Or is it, sometimes I get confused, like Michael, Michelle, and stuff like that. My brain gets a bit confused. So not trying to read wrong. It's just the way my mind works sometimes. Yeah, and so we're trying to get this school thing figured out for people. We want to put videos on there so people can access them. And I'd like to put all the Telos books there. Hey, Kyla. Oh, you're in Texas, Michael. Angelo Sanchez. Cool. So there's a bit of reading here. There's different teachers coming in. Like, this is not my knowledge. I'm just sharing these books with you. And it was channeled by Aurelia Louise Jones. And I'm reading and I'm sharing this knowledge because I feel it's important. Because if you really want to be part of the fifth dimension in the future, you got to understand these teachers. You got to understand bringing up your energy. You got to understand you got to do the work. And you got to stop believing a lot of silly things. And you got to make your own decisions. And so that is my purpose in trying to read this and share it with you. And trying to give you access to it. So if you've missed something, you can go back and find it for yourself. And other than that, we have lots of other recordings and videos and stuff like that. Cindy says on Sunday I'm going to have a live Zoom for the people that want to be part of the school, our school. So if you want to be a part of that, it's $5 a month, and I think for $5 a month is not really bad. It's like I say, we're paying I think $150 for this platform, and so this it gives us access to lots of things where we can put things on there for people to access. We've been trying to figure that out for a very long time, and a lot of people want knowledge, they want things, and doing a live with a lot of people, so trying to answer people's questions or share knowledge or channel. And then we're looking at doing meditation groups, so doing meditation every 2 weeks or once a month. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I know we have one coming up. There's a couple of people that have paid for the meditation, so in it I try to teach, I try to help, and then we try to guide you through what we do as in meditation to help you to understand and learn and grow how to use your mind and how to become more aware and conscious of your gifts. And if you want to join the meditation, it's there for you to find, and that'll be coming up, I think it's Wednesday. I'm not too sure at the moment.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. No, yeah, this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. Is it 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be 10 o'clock. So next Wednesday, I mean, this coming Wednesday, I won't be reading. I'll be doing the meditation. I don't know if I will do a reading afterwards. We'll see what goes on with the meditation and what's going on in our day on Wednesday. Because, like, we have work, we have things to do. Like, tomorrow we have the realtor coming again to show the house. So when he comes, we try to leave so he can show the place, and then we come back. So there's lots going on all the time, and sometimes our lives can be busy. So I try to do as much as I can. As this book says, you just do the work. I mean, even though there's lots of challenges and fears and ups and downs and worry about whether you're going to be successful or you're going to pay your bills or whatever, you just trust the universe. And that's the way I've lived my life, is by the seat of my pants. It was always on the move, always doing things, always trying to figure out life, always talking to the creator, always trying to find answers, and never really fitting in. Um, Still today, it's always the same, and I've always been a little different, and I've had a lot of strange experiences I've survived where I've shared stories. So I'm going to go into this. I'm going to read this one more time. The second ray, the flame of illumination and wisdom. The main God qualities and actions of the second ray, which is the crown chakra: illumination, wisdom, omniscience, understanding through love, perception, comprehension, participation, discrimination, and activation of the mind of God. So when you're meditating and you go to this place, that's where you get channeling, downloads, all kinds of things come from up here. It activates the 8th, 9th, 10th chakra and higher. So that brings in the knowledge, the energy, the wisdom, and things. The chakra, crown chakra, is yellow. The stone is tiger's eye and golden topaz. The Kohan of the second ray is Lord Lanto, the teacher of ancient wisdom. His retreat is the Great Hall of Illumination in the Grand Teton mountain range in Wyoming, USA. Other masters serving on the second ray are Gautama Buddha, Lord Maitreya, Sananda/Jesus, Master Kuthumi, and Confucius. So those are teachers that when you're meditating in that, you can get knowledge from. The archangels of the second ray are Jophiel and Christine. So if you want to connect with angels, they're the ones that are the two connected with your crown chakra. Their retreat is the South Great Wall in China, the Temple of Illumination. And then there's Goddess Miru, which is the island of the sun in Lake Titicaca, Bolivia. So god or goddess Miru, you can connect with Lake Titicaca. The Elohim is Apollo and Lumina, their retreat in Saxon, Germany. About the Lord Lanto, teacher of ancient wisdom. Lord Lanto is a great light of ancient China, now serves as a koan of the second ray of the Royal Teton Retreat in the Grand Teton Mountain Range, Wyoming, USA. His devotion to the flame of wisdom and the flame of knowledge has truly qualified him to directly assist with the evolution of the earth through the second ray of illumination. Lord Lanto chose to use the second ray to embrace the hearts of mankind. He is dedicated to assist the evolution of this planet through the cosmic Christ illumination. The golden flame that beats his heart is charged with the momentum of God victory. Lord Lanto volunteered with Sanata, or Sanat, Sanat, Kumara, Kumara, to come to Earth long ago for the rescue of the planet and her evolution at the time when total darkness filled the land. He was a high priest in the temple of the Divine Mother on the continent of Lemuria. In the last days of Lemuria, those that tended the flames upon the altar of the temple were warned of the the coming cataclysms. Those responsible for the flame removed and carried them elsewhere to a place of safety, depositing them in other physical retreats or transferring them to the etheric octave. It was Lord Lantu who carried the flame of perception and deposited in the area of the Grand Teton mountain range in North America. The flame of perception has a Chinese green tone with the yellow of the second ray. This flame is still burning today in the Royal Teton Retreat. Precipitation is the flame of abundance and wealth, as well as happiness, joy, and universal Christ consciousness. So if you go to that flame, you'll receive these things, like you will, whatever it is that's your abundance, your wealth, and your happiness. By going there, you will understand how to create and do these things. And it's important to understand you need to go to these places and want to learn this. Embodiments of Lord Lanto. Lord Lanto embodies an ancient Lord Lanto's embodied in ancient China as Duke of Chou, Chou, also known as the Yellow Emperor, 12th century BC. The Duke of Chou is regarded as a statesman in Chinese history and is considered the architect of the Chou dynasty and the true founder of the Confucian tradition. Lanto is later embodied as a ruler of China at the time of Confucius and held the golden flame of illumination on behalf of the Chinese people for many centuries. Lord Lanto so adored the Trinity within the innermost being that the intense glow of the divine spark could actually be seen through his flesh form, emanating as a soft glow from his chest. He maintained this honor of Sanata Kumara until his ascension around 500 BC. He gained his mastery while studying under the Lord Himalaya, Manu of the fourth root race, whose retreat of the Blue Lotus is hidden in the mountains that bear his name. Following his ascension, Lord Lanto accepted the office presiding master of the Council of the Royal Teton of the retreat itself in order to bring to the Western world the flame of science and technology, the culture of the mother and the reverence of life, which he and Confucius had sponsored in the Far East. The Royal Teton Retreat, this magnificent retreat, is situated in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. The glorious natural cathedral, which spirals above the emerald green settings of the plains and trees, draws the admiration of all who come to the area. The Teton retreat is the most ancient focus of the ascended masters on the planet Earth. It is also the focus of precipitation, expansion of the light through the ray of illumination and manifestation in the world of form. Its activity commands the power of conscious precipitation. Yeah, that's right, I think. For many ages within the heart of the Grand Teton, an order of the Great White Brotherhood under the directions of Lord Lanto has dedicated its strength, consciousness, and presence to evolving ways and means of helping the evolution of mankind for greater perfection of mind, greater peace of soul, greater health of body, and greater development of the dormant spirit of God within the heart of humanity. Lord Lanto conducted nightly classes in Royal Teton Retreat, helping those interested in developing their natural talents, gifts, powers, and reasons for being. A master of sages and philosophers, Lantos teaches us the path of attainment through enlightenment, wisdom, and dominion in the crown chakra. The second ray is also of illumination, perception, comprehension, and education. It is the ray of directing intelligence, discrimination, desecration, and the direction and the use of one's life. Those who are or who have been the great teachers of mankind are frequency second ray initiates. Many great patriots, educators, artists, architects, scientists, inventors, or great religious teachers receive their inspirations at this council and have returned to their physical bodies filled with inspiration and passion, weaving their experience into the blessings for humanity. Through the 19th and 20th century, Lord Lanto stood faithfully behind the efforts of Master Saint Germain to liberate mankind through the Ascended Master teachings on the I Am presence of the violet flame. And a lot of people got into that in the past. The seven sacred flames. Through the 19th and 20th century, Lord Lanto stood faithfully behind the efforts of Master Saint Germain to liberate mankind through the Ascended Master teachings on the I Am presence and the violet flame. Then it says, transmissions from the heart of beloved Lord Lanto, from the Great Hall of Illumination, the Royal Teton Retreat in the Rocky Mountain Range of Wyoming. I greet you with the love of my heart and the wisdom flame that I am. Throughout the ages I have indeed served that wondrous golden ray for so very long that I have embodied it fully and become it. When you think of the sacred flame, beloved ones, perceive their wonders with a sense of quality. There is not one that is better or lesser than the other, although each one holds a different attribute of the qualities of God. They are all equally wondrous and effective. Some of their qualities overlap, creating an energy field of oneness. The seven flames are also part of the Earth's curriculum, about which you need to gain mastery and balance in order to qualify for your ascension. Everyone who has ever ascended was acquired to master the attributes of the seven flames, and this is where you want to do the work. In our teachings to humanity, we emphasize the seven flames, but in reality there are many others. When you fulfill your ascension, the 12 sacred flames and their corresponding chakras will be fully restored within you, and you will be able to use them constructively with all of their numerous gifts in wondrous ways. And that's why you have to go into each chakra and heal them. You have to understand the purpose, and you have to bring in new energies as you release and clear out the old. In the ascended state, as you continue to evolve your consciousness in the various levels of the fifth dimension and later on in the consciousness of still higher dimensions, you will discover many more flames many more chakras will be added to your life stream. And that's why you go up higher and higher and higher and higher, the more knowledge you gain. And you have to learn how to work with all these beings and guardians and everything. You have to listen. And that's where, like in the past, my granddad is like, why don't you listen? You don't listen and you make things really hard for yourself. And I was very, very stubborn, and he used to always tell me this. And even when I got hit with a dump truck, I didn't want to listen to the universe. And they were trying to get me to understand things, and I wouldn't listen. And so after that experience, I'm like, okay, I'll listen. And so I try to do the things I'm meant to do. So Yaya Priest says there is an ebook of it in the app Hoopla if anyone is interested. So if you're interested in wanting to read this, she just gave you a site you can go to find this book. So you go higher and higher and higher. There's way more chakras. There's way more things. This is where people, they don't know chakras. Most Reiki masters don't understand. Most yogis don't understand. They can't teach you. They just know the basics. They've never really, really tried to figure this out. They don't practice anything spiritual. They just try to get high on energy. When you really go deep into this, it transforms and changes you. It's really, really powerful. And these teachers are there. They're very, very loving, and they want you to grow in every possible way. The seven flames are also part of the earth curriculum, but about which you need to gain mastery and balance in order to qualify for your ascension. And that's what we got to do, is ascend to get into the fifth dimension. And the earth is going to transform. And if you're not willing to do this, you're not going to be part of the future. There's other things you got to learn and do. Everyone who has ever ascended was required to master the attributes of the seven flames. In our teaching to humanity, we emphasize the seven flames, but in reality, there are many others. When you fulfill your ascension, the 12 sacred flames and their corresponding chakras will be fully restored within you, and you will be able to use them constructively with all of their numerous gifts in wondrous ways. And there's many, many, many gifts. People know of a few, but there's all kinds. And it's really, really magical. In the ascended state, as you continue to evolve your consciousness in the various levels of the fifth dimension, and later on in the consciousness of still higher dimensions, you will discover many more flames, many more chakras will be added to your life stream. In fact, it will never end. Evolution continues on forever until eternity, or unto eternity. How many chakras do you think your creator or Lord Melchizedek has? Shortly before the destruction of the two major continents, did I skip a page? No. Shortly before the destruction of the two major continents, Lemuria and Atlantis, most of the sacred flames were removed from the surface of the planet and taken inside the planet or to the etheric temples of light. With the removal of the flames also came the deactivation of the part of your DNA that minimizing the threefold flame of life in the sacred chamber of your heart and temporarily shutting down the 5 sacred rays with their corresponding chakras. And these are the 5 other chakras people don't fully understand. Because of the severe misuse of these rays and their chakras in the 2 continents mentioned above, it was decided by universal and galactic councils alike that restrictions had to be imposed on humanity. From that time on, only 7 chakras with their corresponding flames were left activated for the continuation of mankind's evolution, and that's the 7 chakras that people know of, basics know of. Many of you heard of the 5 secret rays and will wonder what they are. Not too much has been mentioned about these rays by us because although they are important and their energy is gradually being restored on the surface, the mastery of the God attributes they represent is not fully required until you get very close to the day of your ascension. We do not want to confuse you with too many flames because the mastery of the first 7 flames represents a big endeavor. Once you have mastered the first 7 flames, it becomes much easier to master the other 5. Though they are unique in their own colors, vibration, and attributes, they are derivatives of the first 7. The stipulations were that until humanity wakes up again to embrace their divine potential and the principles of the Christhood, and when the levels of consciousness has reached enough spiritual maturity for mankind to be trusted once more with the sacred energy, the knowledge for the right use of these flames will be reintroduced to the earth again. With the ascensions of your earth mother, those who have reached the level of spiritual maturity to become candidates for ascension will benefit in their own timing from the return of their gifts. And these 5 chakras out here are what bring in your gifts. And you have to understand these chakras, heal them to connect with these. And this is where people want all kinds of gifts, but they don't understand. And once you really, really connect with these 5 chakras, you become like Jesus, Buddha, and all these other masters. And then you have to teach. You have to step into a position and become a teacher. And you don't play games. You don't mislead people. You don't try to deceive or do anything. Right, Teria? That is the mastery you will need to attain as you walk through the initiations of the 7 inner temples. See chapter 4, page whatever. Once you gain the momentum of love, wisdom, and power on all the flames and have fulfilled all the other requirements, you will be invited to take your place among the immortals with all the glory and attributes of the fully ascended master. That day, beloved ones, will be the most wondrous day of your entire existence. For eons of time you have incarnated here facing many challenges in most of your incarnations, always keeping the dream and the goal to make it someday to the ascension doorway. Now this opportunity is offered to each of you in this very incarnation. You never have to die again for most of you unless you choose it. The time you have waited for is now presenting itself to you. This is an invitation from us, the co-hands of the ray, and also an invitation from the Creator. We love you all so very dearly. Know, beloved ones, that if you choose it now full-heartedly and keep this commitment to yourself and your I am presence, you can end in a few years your long cycles of incarnation to join us as immortal. Once ascended, you will be working with us face to face, learning from us all that we have learned since our ascension. Contemplate this for a moment. What took us so long in the past to accomplish, you can reach the same in less than half the time it took us. I now invite you to look at my picture and contemplate the bright flame of love that is radiating from my heart. I was able to manifest this in my last incarnation, as a mortal like you are now in the present state. If I could do this then, you can surely do this also in this time of earth ascension. So let's see his picture here. So this is the picture they put of him in here. And these beings, they want to teach us all.
Let's see if that's better.
Meditating and you think about astral traveling, you want to go to these places. If you're crown chakra, if you're on that ray, then you need to connect with these higher beings that'll teach you everything. And I read at the beginning all of the teachers that are connected to the crown chakra. So when you understand this, it is your choice. They won't force it on you. Everything is a choice. Everything is your belief. And they're not trying to make you nothing. They work very hard to get where they are. And they want you to realize you can do the same, but they will speed up all of this. And if you're doing all the work, it's going to take you up. Like Cobe is asking, do you see the front of the book? There it is. Um, Shortly, I already read that. I read that. So, with the ascension of your Mother Earth, those who have reached the level of spiritual maturity to become candidates for ascension will benefit in their own timing from the return of their gifts. So, this is where lots of people are realizing they're very gifted and they don't understand and are trying to find people, and people don't even know a lot. It was like me, I went to a lot of people in my lifetime and I had all these gifts and they didn't understand me. They thought I was crazy. And I realized they didn't understand this. And I talk about stuff and they had no clue what I was talking about. And then I realized they couldn't teach me. And there were a lot of people out there, and there's more and more people activating gifts and abilities and all kinds of stuff. But they're searching for somebody to teach them. And this is where it's really hard to find teachers. And that's why I want to share this, so you can call these teachers in and they will help you with everything. This is where people are trying to find, shaman courses and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, you can call on these beings and you can go to these different places and you can get all this knowledge. But as you get the knowledge, it's going to change you. And if you're really, really desiring to be in the future, it is going to transform you and everything else. And it's really important to understand this is your choosing. So that is the mastery you will need to attain as you walk through the initiation of the 7 inner temples. And that's why in the Bible it says these are holy. Don't tamper with them. And people just want to open up other people and want to look in their energies and all kinds of stuff. So this is where getting the right knowledge up here, understanding. Everybody is psychic, everybody is intuitive, everybody's an empath. But people always ask the same silly questions. How do you know all these things? How come you have deja vu and all this? How come when you sit with your friends you can talk openly, but when you talk to others you shut it all off? When mothers can know where her daughter or son is and know all kinds of things about, even know when they're going to get hurt in that before. But yet then they say, what do you mean? Gifts and abilities. Once you gain the momentum of love, wisdom, and power of all the flames and have fulfilled all the other requirements, you will be invited to take your place among the immortals with all the glory and attributes of a fully ascended master. And we're all meant to do that. But the darkness in Christianity and everything made us believe we can't. Like in Christianity, they say you can never be Jesus. You never can be a sacred, holy person. In native culture, they knew they were holy people. In the Sioux, when somebody was really spiritual and holy, they called them Wakan, and they would honor them. They wouldn't touch them. They wouldn't wrong them. When White Buffalo Calf Woman came to the Sioux people to bring the pipe, they honored her and knew she was Wakan, and they knew not to violate her. But nowadays, people search for teachers to destroy them. They don't honor, they don't respect, and they use any kind of knowledge they have to tear that person's life apart. And they're always looking for the bad. They're always looking for something to say, oh yeah, that person is this or that. So in this world we're in now, it's like it's really hard to be a spiritual teacher. And you got all these young people who don't know anything. They learn Reiki, they learn all kinds of silly things, and then they go around and do real crazy things to people. And they don't believe in spiritual laws or this and that. And so this is where you have to understand there are teachers and guardians and all kinds of other people who watch over. It's like people want to blow chakras open. They're guardians of your chakras. They know if you're meant to go in there or not. And people try to force stuff. So they go into yoga, they go into lots of practices trying to blow everything apart. They find people and they just push and push. A lot of people are into breathing, into all kinds of stuff, just forcing, trying to blast everything apart, trying to bliss out, trying to do this, trying to do that. And I'm like, there's no need for it. That day, beloved ones, will be the most wondrous day of your entire existence. For eons of time you have incarnated here, facing many challenges in most of your incarnations, always keeping the dream and goal to make it someday to ascend to the ascension doorway. Now this opportunity is offered to each of you in this very incarnation. You never have to die again, for most of you, unless you choose it. The time you have waited for is now presenting itself to you. This is an invitation from us, the co-hands of the rays, and also an invitation from your Creator. We love you all so very dearly. Know, beloved ones, that if you choose it now full-heartedly and keep this commitment to yourself and your I Am presence, you can end in a few years your long cycle of incarnation to join us as immortal. Once ascended, you will be working with us face to face, learning from us all that you have learned, all that we have learned since our ascension. Contemplate this for a moment. What took us long in the past to accomplish, you can reach the same in less than half the time it took us. I now invite you to look at my picture and contemplate the bright flame of love that is radiating from my heart. I was able to manifest this in my last incarnation as a mortal like you are now in the present state. If I could do this then, you can surely do this also in this time of the earth ascension. And from the love flame of your heart and the power of your love, you can learn to expand your love to the point of creating a similar accomplishment. And if you work at it, I will be at your side to assist you and to champion your victory. I am Lord Lantos, your teacher of wisdom, lighting your way back home with the wonders of the illumination flame. And then there's a message from Lord Cthulhu. So I'll read that. So Lord Cthulhu is the world teacher, the second ray master. Blessings, children of my heart. The beautiful wisdom of creation designed certain focuses to accomplish specific outcomes. For instance, nature creates beauty to inspire mankind to return to the greatness of their own divinity. Your body has eyes to see, ears to hear, and feet to walk. Thus, the various bodies of mankind were created, each one of a specific purpose. The mental body is designed to create the mold of perfection. The emotional body is meant to fill your form with life. Your physical body, with all its facilities, is meant to be, or meant to externalize, the perfection of consciousness in the world of form. That's where we design our bodies to be perfect, but we're born into the world and all we do is we hate our bodies. We try to do everything to alter and change them, and I'm like, why? And little girls, right from when they're really tiny, they end up being taught to hate their own bodies. People look at their ears and their nose, everything, and they just hate it. And I'm like, why? You designed it to be the most perfect, beautiful thing to live inside of, but all you want to do is look at it like it's ugly or garbage. I have all kinds of scars on that. I don't try to hide or change anything. I just try to live in my body and be happy. It's a spacesuit I use to be the human person Joe, to talk, to create, even though I'm native and all of that. And like I say, I designed my body perfectly. I mean, I had broken cheek, broken nose, scars, and all kinds of stuff. But I live in it and I try to be happy with it. I don't try to change it. I told a story where my sister in the past got really mad at me and told me, "Why don't you get a nose job?" And I'm like, "Why? My nose sits here. It doesn't bother anybody. It's fine the way it is. I mean, it's there. I can breathe. I can do everything." And she's just freaking out at me and screaming that I should get my nose fixed. I'm like, "It's my nose." And I think if I go and get my nose fixed, I think they might do something that may be very harmful. So I'd rather allow my nose to stay the way it is. If people have problems, that's theirs. So, like, I try to be happy with me. It's not about how people see me. You know, my hairstyle, my teeth, my eyes, you know, uh, whatever it is I dress or whatever it's like that's just me. And I'm not trying to impress nobody. I have no intentions of doing that. All I focus is on me. I live inside here, and that's important to me. So I try to eat things and do things to make my body healthy in whatever way I can. But like I say, there's lots to learn and do. And I'm always focused on trying to evolve and grow. And ascending, I think, is something everybody should think about and find something that's going to help you. People want to pray for Archangel Michael. Well, why don't you pray for Kathumi to show up? Why don't you pray for Lantos to show up? People want to astral travel out into the stars. Why don't you travel to one of these places and see what they can teach and help you learn? People want to astral travel into other people's bedrooms and homes. Why don't you decide to go to some of these sacred places in the fifth dimension or different places on the earth and evolve and grow? Why do you want to be childish and do silly things? Like, make choices, do right things. This is something I try to help people understand. So I'll go back and then I'll finish this. We're getting close to break time, and Cindy will come in. Um, and I'll go on reading. Just looking at this to see how far this goes. Yeah, so I'll have about 15 pages after this to read, and we'll get to the end where there's a meditation. So if you want to meditate, when I get there, like, set yourself up to relax. We'll call in the spirits, we'll call in the spirits, we'll call in the guides and stuff like that. And I'll read it to you. So invite all of these things to bring change. And like I say, stop trying to force a gifts and abilities. Stop doing yoga and all kinds of things driving yourself nuts. Stop trying to be a psychic or this or that. It's like, let them help you to become everything you're meant to. Blessings, children of my heart, the beautiful wisdom of creation designed certain focuses to accomplish specific outcomes. For instance, nature created beauty to inspire mankind to return to the greatness of their own divinity. Your body has eyes to see, ears to hear, feet to walk. Thus, the various bodies of mankind were created, each one of the specific, each one for a specific purpose. The mental body is designed to create the mold of perfection. The emotional body is meant to fill your form with life. Your physical body, with all its faculties, is meant to externalize the perfection of consciousness in the world of form. One of the most beautiful avenues by which thought and feelings become manifesting things is through the right use of the throat chakra, the power center of the spoken word. The spoken or mental formed words become the final step down transformer by which the desired manifestation is lowered into the world of form. This is done through the right use of affirmations, fiats, decrees, and various forms of prayers offered to your mighty I am. And your mighty I am is your oversoul, your higher true consciousness. Like, just me putting my hand up here, I can just feel all this energy, and it rains down, and all kinds of other things. And you can become really aware of this presence, which is And one day that energy will come inside you and you'll be like Jesus and Buddha and all of them. But if you don't believe that, God won't make you that way. Yeah, yoga is good. It's a good practice. It's like some people want to do jogging. Some people want to do other kinds of stuff. Yoga is good for a reason when you're using it in the right way. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, some people want to go do a gym and bench press, and some people want to do Tai Chi or Qigong or whatever practice. It's like it's yours, but there are people that force these things. They get into it and they just do all kinds of stuff. That's all I'm saying. Like I say, when you put spiritual things in there, it's going to do all kinds of other stuff. That's what it was originally meant for. And if you're going to be a yogi, if that's what your ultimate goal is, you're going to give up sex, you're going to give up money, you're going to give up alcohol, you're going to give up people, you're going to get rid of your home, and you're going to just wander around meditating and praying. That's a true yogi. And anybody that wants to be a true yogi, you're going to become celibate. You're going to give up. And in India, these people, they have houses, homes, families, everything. What did they do? They gave up everything. What did Buddha do? He was a prince in his kingdom, and he was going to inherit all of the kingdom, and he had all kinds of wives. He had everything. And he saw how people were treated, and he left that kingdom. He left his family. He left his wife. He left all his money and everything. What did he do? He walked around and he sat under a tree. And he didn't buy anything. He didn't do anything. He gave up everything. He went celibate. He gave up all his wives, his children, every last thing he had. And he became this master Gautama Buddha. And through his experiences, he tried all kinds of things. He found the middle way. And there was lots of kinds of practice saying, oh, you have to starve yourself. Oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to do that. And he tried all of them. It's just about destroyed it. And then he found the middle way. And he opened up to the universe. And he gave everything away. And he just lived for his purpose of becoming Buddha, becoming a teacher. And this is understanding this. If you read some of the yogi books, they became celibate. They gave up everything. And the universe used them as teachers and every other thing. So understand that. That is a real truth. And that's your sacrifice. God doesn't tell you you have to do that. And the most powerful thing is our base chakra is sex, sexuality, manifesting and creating. And people want that. They don't want to give it up. They live for it. That's all they live and breathe for. But then they say, oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm spiritual. Oh, I'm this and that. And they can't give up anything. They will never sacrifice. They will never want to ascend. They just want to play in these lower levels. And then they say, oh, I'm going to be in the fifth dimension. I'm like, really? And this is where there's many, many teachers. Try to call on different ones and see who appears. Just because you know a teacher, like I say, what ray are you on? Maybe you're on the heart ray and you're calling one from the other ray. And that teacher's not coming. And you need to connect with the teacher of this ray. And this is where you have to understand all these things. That's why people only call on Archangel Michael. I'm like, there's many, many other angels, many, many other teachers. People will have Archangel Michael standing in their house all day, but they won't call on Cthulhu. They won't call on Lantos. They won't call on Jophiel. They won't call on all these other beings. They fear them. But yet they'll have Archangel Michael standing there with a sword. I'm like, for what? Like, are you base chakra? Are you solar plex? Are you, uh, the sacral? Are you the heart? Are you the throat? Are you the, like, what's teachers? And this is why you got to start realizing to call on and wanting to go places to receive and get answers. One of the most powerful avenues by which thought and feelings become manifesting things through the right use of the throat chakra, the power center of the spoken word. The spoken or mental formed word becomes the final step down transformer by which the desired manifestation is lowered into the world of form. This is done through the right use of affirmations, fiats, decrees, various forms of prayers offered, and your mighty I am presence directly from your heart in connection with your throat chakra. This is where people try to manifest and they never do because they're trying to do all kinds of different things. Humanity has been very proficient in creating discord, pain, and challenge for themselves by the wrong use of the throat center. I admonish you to begin noticing how you create misery for yourself by the wrong use of your power center and by the way you speak to yourself and others. Resolve today to speak only words of love and harmony. When you learn to speak like a master, you will be amazed how quickly the world around you transforms itself to bring you the love, peace, harmony, and abundance you so long for. What you create through your throat center always comes back to you multiplied many times over, whether it is created in love or in discord. Each time you express yourself through the spoken or written word, do it always with love, compassion, and wisdom. It is important to always express your truth, and it is just as important to pause, to choose the right words for your communication. You can always convey to anyone that is right for you and what is not, and how you feel about a situation. It is not what you say or express through writings that create problems or of discord and karma for yourself. It is always the way you say it or write it. When you are not sure how to express yourself without offending the person you want to communicate, go into your heart, take a deep breath, and say, I now choose to communicate from the love of my heart. I invoke the ray of illumination and wisdom to impart my consciousness with my perfect expression for this situation. You will be surprised to discover how eloquently you may become and how you can transform a difficult situation into a divine solution. This is the law of attraction in this and all the universes. Butthurt. I like using the word butthurt because I remember how I was butthurt and how I went always going around bleeding thinking someone was going to save me or fix me. And I kept myself really miserable. And I realized the only way to be happy is to change things, find answers, do things. Have a good night, Laura. And so, hey, Michelle. So when Cindy's talking about butt hurts, it's like we hang on to things and we feel that inside. We're a chemistry factory. So how are we feeling? And you're around somebody and a lot of times they don't understand what you're going through chemically. Hey, Patnia. And so when their butt hurt it's like, for me, it's like when I'm angry and Cindy doesn't understand what's maybe making me frustrated or angry. And I'm in there and all this chemicals is going through me and I could stay there for months. I mean, in the past I did. And I used my anger to stay dysfunctional, to drink. Whatever it was, the dysfunctional pattern I had to feed. And then I wanted everybody to feel sorry for me. So I'd have these butt hurts. You know, oh, somebody's going to pet me like a little cat or a little dog. Oh, you poor thing. No, I'm not poor. My granddad never ever pitied me. Don't matter how nasty and hard my life was, he would not ever pity me. And he would always try to help me to learn, to think, to grow. And you have to really understand this. Look at children. They want you to feel pity. They want you to feel sorry. They want you to give in. It's like your child is having a really hard time learning math. Well, you're going to keep at him until he learns it. You're not going to go, oh, you poor thing, just put your books away and go play your games. Oh, it'll all be perfect. You'll just graduate as the genius of the university. No. You push until they figure out and they learn it because they're stubborn. Everybody has these things. Hey, Laura from Europe and the Netherlands. Um, so this is where that I like saying butt hurts because we all have that. We all carry childishness within inside ourselves. We all carry ignorance, but we want everybody to feel sorry for us. We go to all kinds of things. We dress up and we wait for somebody like, oh, you poor thing. And then you start telling your story and, oh, you're so poor. And I'm like, no, it's not true. Like when I was a child and people told me that me and my granddad and our family was poor. And I never understood that. And my granddad is like, there is no such thing. But then people, they say, oh, I grew up in a real poor family. No, because when you were born, you wanted that experience. You wanted to grow up in lack. You wanted to grow up in dysfunction. You wanted to grow up in alcoholism. You wanted to grow up and go through all these experiences. None of it was poor. You designed it. You chose the family. You chose everything that was going to go on in your life. Now, can you change that butter? It's like me deciding to stop drinking and alcohol and all kinds of other things and learn through all of my dysfunctions. Try anything and everything. I did lots of things in my life. But I always wanted to learn. I always wanted to understand, and I did the work to change my life. I created a business. I am sitting here trying to help you guys find answers to learn. But nobody is ever going to take your butt hurt. Nobody's ever going to take your, oh, poor me, you know? And we can go on feeling sorry for ourselves forever. Not even these higher beings are going to take that from you. They're going to let you stay in it till you decide, I'm done. I'm finished with being this silliness, and I'm going to make this change. And this is where you decide to do the work. When Cindy came into my life, she didn't really understand much. And I took her through many, many things over the years. And I always told her I would support her. I would always, whatever it is she needs to do to bring her soul to the highest attainment in this lifetime, I will be there and help her with that. I said, maybe one day she'll go past me and she'll become my teacher. I don't know. And I've always given her that. And I've always said, you're intelligent. You're this, you're that, you're a teacher, you're all kinds of things. What do you want to do? And she has to think for herself and decide. And I'm like, I don't tell her where to go or what to do. I allow her to choose. And I'll put things in front of her. I'll say, read this or look at this. If she doesn't, she just pushes it aside. I don't say anything. I've done this ever since I've been with her. And she makes a decision. And I saw lots of things in the beginning of the relationship, and I thought, maybe something went wrong. Why is she not manifesting and creating this? But I didn't realize she needed to go way into the future to get to a point to go, oh, this is what I want to do. And now she's opening up that reality and making her choices. I've never told her to follow Christianity. I've never told her to follow spirituality. I've never told her to follow Buddhism or anything else. I'm like, here, read this, study this. And we sit and talk about it. And I'd help her mind to understand because she grew up in a certain family belief system, and she grew up in a town that surrounded her, that she chose to become the person that she is. Nobody is broken. But whatever is in here, when you have the right answers and right knowledge, you'll change that. And this book is about that. If you want to go into the fifth dimension, you have to work with this knowledge. You have to invite these spirits. Like in natives, they want to call in the grandmothers and grandfathers. And there's a lot of teachers. There's a lot of things, depending on the path you want to follow. If you want to do Buddhism, there's a lot of paths. If you want to do Christianity, there's a lot of paths. Whatever you want to practice and do, there's lots. And sometimes you won't understand. Like when I was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I didn't understand Bardo. I didn't understand a lot of these things. But I was reading it. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to understand. It was foreign and strange. It was like when I danced with the Bloods down in southern Alberta, and they would sing their songs in Blackfoot, and they would talk and do things in Blackfoot, and I had to figure it out and learn it. And I had to learn and understand the words. Same with when I first got to Edmonton and I was working with Cree elders, and they were speaking Cree. They would never speak in English. And it took me a long time to figure out lots of things. And I talked to people trying to understand and learn. But I had a lot of butthurts, really, really lots. And I wanted to find a Jesus to blink for me, or I wanted to find an elder that would tap me with a pipe on my head, and all of a sudden I'd just be floating in the air, as some sort of angelic being. And there were elders that, there were times they even knew they would make me very angry and mad, and they would tell me. But I figured it out with time, and I healed. I changed. I reopened my mind to look at things differently. I made a lot of choices to try stuff, to see and learn. And these books here, it's yours to decide and figure out or not. I'll keep reading, and we'll get to the meditation at the end, and you can do the meditation. I have about 15 pages, and then I'm done this chapter for today, and then I'll do the next chapter tomorrow. Good morning, Needle and Thread, everybody that's joining, good morning. If you're in other parts of the world, there's a lady there from the Netherlands. It's the evening or nighttime. No, Bon Jovi, don't worry about inviting darkness, because if you're thinking about the darkness, that's what you attract. If you're focusing on the light, and this is telling you all these things, you're only going to bring in light. You're going to be tested along the way, and you might go through some scary experiences, but you're going to go higher and higher because your focus is all on the light. If you want to ascend and be in the fifth dimension and in the future, focus on that. Stop this looking for the darkness. Because when you do, you attract it, you manifest it. Because that's what the universe thinks you want to learn. So if you're only focusing on the light, it's going to start bringing you all kinds of things. You're going to find all kinds of stuff changing. You'll find yourself happy. You'll find yourself manifesting. You'll find yourself moving past all kinds of things in the past. You'll attract new people, everything. But you have to focus on the light. We were programmed and trained to focus on the darkness for over 2,300 years. The churches and the governments made us do this. And now we got to change our minds and say, no, I'm only focusing on the light. So I'm going to start on this one now. Here's a picture of the crown chakra. I showed this yesterday. And then I'll start reading. So it says a prayer for the second ray healing. And this is where you want to heal your crown chakra. Beloved, I am presence. Blaze forth now from the heart of the beloved Alpha Omega, from the heart of the beloved Helos and Vesta, into the individual heart and minds. Glorious waves of golden flames of illumination and peace flood us with the precious oils of universal knowledge and wisdom. That's where you want the knowledge and wisdom coming in. And that's why you got to focus on the higher light and truth. Yes, it just pops in. And that's what something is trying to trick you. And that's where you don't waste, you don't fear it. Because you're fearing it, that's why it keeps happening. After a while, it'll just slowly go away. So relax about it. So I'm going to read this prayer, and then I'm going to go on reading. Beloved, I am presence. Blaze forth now from the heart of the beloved Alpha Omega, from the heart of the beloved Helos and Vesta, the individual hearts and minds, glorious waves of golden flames of illumination and peace, flood us with the precious oils of universal knowledge and wisdom. Come now and direct thy precious light ray of divine illumination and peace into every aspect of our lives. Flood the earth and humanity with the golden flame of the Christ illumination, understanding and peace from the heart of God in the great central sun. And then it says here, you got to do this 3 times. So, divine flame of illumination, bless my world today. Golden waves of peace, bless my world in God's perfect way. Flames of light so wondrous to behold, I am thy wisdom and all that I am. Golden fountain of illumination, infuse every part of my being with the golden oil. I am, I am, I am, illumination blazing through my heart, mind, and soul. So you're supposed to repeat that 3 or 6 times. And that's the prayer when you do it 3 or 6 times. And that's to start healing the crown chakra. Because of many, many, many lifetimes we abuse so much kinds of knowledge. And there's so many healings that need to go on. So saying this invocation and learning to do it 3 to 6 times. I'll see if I can get it on this where you might be able to take a snapshot. Or maybe we'll type it out and put it on our school and you can find it. And you can learn to practice it 3 to 6 times a day to heal your crown chakra from all the abuse. And then a discourse of Adam and Lord Lantos. Greeting, my beloved. This is Adam. I am here in your presence today with several beings that most of you already know, or at least have heard of. Among those present are the brothers, Animar, and the guardian masters of the second ray, Lord Lanto. Ariello, hello Adam, would you like to discuss, we would like to discuss with you the attributes and the use of the illumination ray to receive the greater understandings of it. It must be that you already read our minds since you brought Lord Lanto with you. We welcome all of you in our midst and in our hearts. We honor and to have your presence with us. Adam, thank you, my friend. It is also a pleasure and honor to be again sharing our love and wisdom with all of you, and later on to a greater number of people through our published books. At this crucial time of Earth's transition into the higher consciousness and dimension, it is more important than ever for every soul incarnate here to understand what is going on energetically and physically on the planet of evolution. Indeed, more than ever, you are all in need of more enlightenment to fully understand and remember your divine essence, your divine essence, to know what you are doing here on this planet and discover the purpose and goals you have set up for your experience here. It is time now for all of you to take advantage of the most wondrous window of opportunity for spiritual liberation through ascension that is offered to you at this time. Because of the deep love your Creator has for all of you, and through the most awesome divine grace that is offered for you from His heart, you can now be liberated from the choices of separation from God that you made a long time ago. You have been evolving here for a long time in a consciousness of spiritual slumber, which has created much discomfort, unhappiness, pain, and limitation. Through the self-imposed ignorance and separation you have chosen to experience, you have forgotten how to manifest your lives as divine beings. Many of you have had enough of this unnatural way of being and have called forth the intervention of your Creator. Lifetime after lifetime, your souls have been imprinted with erroneous belief systems about God and yourself. You have followed the limiting teachings of religions, whose leaders had their own agenda to keep you in a spiritual ignorance, control, and submission. For most, the religions and dogmas you have been so attached to, believe in, and embody kept you boxed into an endless stream of erroneous concepts that have prevented you from experiencing yourself in your many incarnations through the eyes of your divinity. We desire to talk of the level of spirituality that is pure in its essence. We have often said that true spirituality is a simple concept that could be summarized in a small booklet. It is so simple that people have completely forgot how to be spiritual and to embody it. You always look for the most complicated concepts you find. Through the ages, millions of books containing elaborate and confusing ideologies about God have been written on spirituality. In fact, very few, if any, acknowledge the simple truth that pure spirituality offers. A great number of your spiritual books have been written by those whom we consider the spiritually blind, wishing to guide the others of humanity who are also spiritually blind. True spirituality is a state of being, a pure state of consciousness that brings you back to the consciousness of love and light, true life, and your divinity. In general, spirituality cannot be gained by the many things you do or don't do, neither by the many rules imposed on you by your society, your religious organizations, or your governments that you are so eagerly to conform to. This simply is, this is why all the rituals, practices, and concepts with do's and don'ts that you accept or reject were meant to be, at best, only basic guidelines by well-meaning people. These guidelines could have assisted you if you used them within the right perspectives, but they could never inject true spirituality within your soul. You alone can do this in communion with your divine essence. That's where you connect with your oversoul, your I am, your ancient knowledge, your wisdom, and you invite that in. Hey Ian, glad to see you're here. Yeah, and Cindy was saying on our school that Sunday I'll be doing a live with people that are part of our school. Also on Wednesday coming up, Tracy, we'll be doing the meditation. There's another person, so there's going to be videos on our school site where I did all the Telos books that you can listen to them, and you can even listen to this book. It's going to be there for you. So if you want to be a part of this, you can join that. It's $5 a month American, and that's not very much, but it gives you a lot. And we're going to try to put more and more and more on this site for people to access and do. So Wednesday we will be doing meditation. Tomorrow I will be coming on, or sorry, Sunday I'll be coming on and doing a live with everybody that's there. So you can ask questions, or I can teach or do whatever it is. So there we can talk and chit chat and things like that. So this is explaining that, in our society here, your religious organizations, governments that you are so eagerly to conform to, it simply is, this is why all rituals, practices, and concepts with do's and don'ts that you accept or reject were meant to be, at best, only basic guidelines by well-meaning people. These guidelines could have assisted you if you used them within the right perspective, but they could never inject true spirituality within your soul. You alone can do this in communion with your divine essence. That's why you want to connect with the 8th, 9th, 10th chakra and the higher in your meditation. You want to connect with Lantos and Buddha and that to heal your crown chakra. That's what this second ray is all about, is because many lifetimes you've abused all kinds of knowledge and practices, and you need to heal that. Hey Chris. The purpose for our discourse and the writing is to bring forth a teaching that is simple for people to follow, a teaching that will assist to bring you back to the consciousness of the God within. And this is where you got to realize you are Jesus, Buddha, you are sacred, your body is a temple. And when you invite these things in, you will ascend, you will become a master. And they didn't ever want you to know this, but you have this opportunity. As a great architect of your life stream, so your God within, the great architect of your life stream. We wish you to rediscover, as we have, the joy and bliss of living your lives, again according to your own unique pathway, totally connected with this divine essence that beats your heart. We wish you to remember at all times that this divine essence that is alive and active within each of you is the only true source of all that you can be, all that you can know, and require to manifest your daily lives as divine beings. And we have it all. When we were born, it all came in. The river of life, of love and limitless abundance, and of every good and perfect gift you wish to enjoy and yearn to obtain lies within you, awaiting your recognition and your dedication in calling it forth. With this introduction, I am now going to talk about illumination, one of the attributes of God flame that can greatly assist you in your reawakening. Adam. The ray of illumination represents the God's wisdom, true knowledge, and enlightenment in all of its various facets. And this is where you want to be channeler of that. You want to be a hollow bone. You want to be whatever it is that needs to come through. It represents Christ conscious illumination, understanding, perception, and peace from the heart of God's omniscience. It is literally an unlimited extension of God's mind. Many of the souls incarnating in the ray of illumination by divine appointment become teachers of humanity. A great number of masters of wisdom you are familiar with, who have incarnated in the past as great teachers for humanity, are beings whose main soul path is the ray of illumination. To name a few, you have the Master Jesus, Sananda 2,000 years ago, Lord Maitreya, Lord Buddha, Lord Confucius, Dajwalkal, Lord Lanto, Master Kathumi, and many others. And you can call on them. And the illumination, like I say, the crown chakra. Masters of all the rays have also incarnated from time to time to become teachers of humanity, because humanity must learn to understand and master the initiations of all the rays in perfect balance in order to qualify for the ascension. Everyone has been created on one of the 12 rays, and millions of beings exist on each one. Understand there is not one ray better than another, like some of you would like to believe. All of the rays must be embodied, understood, and integrated. That's why you got to heal all your 7 chakras, and then you got to connect with the 5 chakras that are out here, the hidden chakras that connect you to really, really lots of amazing things. The illumination ray is connected with the crown chakra, known as the 1,000-petal lotus flame. As you invoke the illumination ray in your crown, the 1,000 petals of your crown chakra start the process of being illuminated again by expanding more of your potential to reconnect with the true mind of God, which has been laying dormant within you for thousands of years. However, it never left you. That is what you want to awaken now. All the pockets of darkness you have embedded there through ignorance are basically pockets of the sleeping consciousness that prevents you from experiencing the mind of God in its purest form. When you invoke the illumination flame in your crown chakra and in totality of your consciousness, and set your intentions to reawaken all the attributes of your divinity, your higher self will use the energies you are invoking to gradually lighten and activate the dark pockets that have been lying dormant there for so very long. Ariella, does the illumination ray have an essence or a color? Adam, the illumination ray is golden yellow like the sun and quite brilliant. The Temple of Illumination, situated at Lake Titicaca in South America, is the main focus on this planet for this ray. The guardians of this ray are the gods and goddesses, Miru, M-E-R-U, who have been holding the energies of illumination for thousands of years in the most awesome etheric temple. In Telos, we also created a smaller version of this majestic second ray temple as we have done for the temples of various rays. In the time of Lemuria, we had thousands of temples on our continent representing hundreds of attributes of the Creator. And we had temples for every aspect of our evolution. We had over 100 temples dedicated to the various rays alone. My beloved, understand that there are many rays you are not yet aware of. You know 7 and about the 5 secret rays, and there are many more. It is not necessary that you be aware of all the rays at this time, but it is the utmost important for those aspiring to make their ascension in this incarnation to gain mastery on the first 7 rays and later on the 5 secret rays. And that's where I say there's, the front and the back need to be healed in these chakra colors, rays. And then you got to understand connecting to here. And then you got to, like I say, there's lots of things from all your lifetimes that need to be healed. So you need to be able to go in there and sit and look at things and then allow this new energy to come in and help you. And if you understand the crown chakra, you know which spirits, guides, teachers, and that to call in to help there. Ariella, what initiation might one go through while working with the illumination ray? Adam, it will be the intentions of becoming aware of all erroneous beliefs. So any kind of beliefs that are not true. And this is where I try to break down the walls. Sometimes I irritate and piss people off by trying to making them realize that some of their beliefs are not true. Like people practice yoga, but they don't want to accept the fact that to be a true yogi, you have to become celibate and give up everything in your life and only focus on the creator and the light. And so this is where a lot of people they want to practice yoga and they just think they're going to become these yogis and ascended masters. And they're trying to access their crown chakra and bring in knowledge and teaching. But they don't want to sacrifice and give up all their alcohol, their booze, their ideas around money, their pretty clothes, their malas, their head buns, all the silliness. Because when you become a true yogi, you give up everything. And you will live that way, and your only focus will be on the creator. And if you're meant to be this channeler and teacher, you're going to bring knowledge in and help the whole world to practice and learn new things. And this is where there's a lot of erroneous beliefs in this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, all the way down. And you can't connect to these 5 out here until you've figured out and healed these. It will be the initiations, or it will be the intentions of becoming aware of all the erroneous beliefs you have entertained about yourself that have occupied your consciousness and kept you in so much pain and limitation. It is stepping out of ignorance and uniting with the mind of God. And this is where you can't tell these teachers and that what to do. People like doing that, and I'm like, you don't. They're going to give you information and you have to work with it. If you don't listen, they'll just go away. They won't waste their energy and time with you. As you integrate and infuse yourself with the ray of illumination, you can invoke the mind of God to do its perfect work in your own mind to transform and evolve. That's where you invite it in, and it will transform you. There is a human brain and there is the mind of God, which are not exactly the same. The mind of God represents a universal consciousness that knows everything and holds no limitations. The human brain is governed by the human ego and is imprinted with fear, limitations, and erroneous beliefs about the self. It has been altered by the human ego with its fears and its consciousness of separation. However, it has been a tool for your evolution. It has served you well. Your human mind, as it evolves, is destined to ultimately unite with the mind of God. Do not plan to get rid of it like some of you would like to do, as yours, and you must own it as an integral aspect of your beingness. And that's why I say you can't get rid of your ego. People always try to tell me this, and I'm like, no, it's not a truth. And if somebody's teaching you this, stop listening to them. Close the door and go somewhere else. Don't beat yourself and try to do something that is not meant to be done. What you need to do is transform it by right knowledge, true wisdom, and by surrender of all your old beliefs that no longer serve you and keep you in limitation and ignorance. If you do this inner work to create your transformations, your ego will also evolve to unite and to fuse with the mind of God through the infusion action of illumination. In the process of ascension, also at all aspects of you, including your human and ego mind, will be uniting completely with the mind of God and all attributes of your divinity. Consider it an ongoing process for eternity, as there will always be another level and another one to open to learn from. The process that you need to surrender to in order to open your minds, your heart, and all aspects of you to your divinity cannot happen overnight. This is a journey you have created and planned for yourself before your incarnation in order to attain the goal you set for yourself for your evolutionary pathway. Gradually, you will integrate the knowledge and understanding and the wisdom you need into your consciousness. As you do this at certain points, the veil will lift and you will unite your mind with the fullness of the mind of God. If you do wish to do your homework and you choose to stay in the present state, maintaining your erroneous concepts and belief systems, it is your choice. No one will force you into it. Be also aware you will have to live with the consequences of being held back in your evolution while others you know and love will be lifted up into the next level. And this is where you choose to stay on the wheel of karma or you choose to go higher. Hey, Danny Spoons. Your own evolution is your primary goal for your incarnation, and it requires your willingness and your effort to engage in it fully. It simply doesn't happen automatically. It is really a desire of the soul. It has to become the most profound desire and focus of your incarnation. It does mean you cannot enjoy your third dimensional life. In fact, it is required that you love and enjoy your life to its fullest. That's why you can't hate anything about your life. Even in your childhood, even when you're a teenager and the hormones take over and you go sexually insane and you run around and do every stupid thing that you can believe. Can't hate none of it. You created it for a reason. In fact, it is required that you love and enjoy your life to its fullest. It all needs to be integrated as one. You transform now at this time of the Earth's transition, requiring your full commitment and participation. So when I get to the end here, over here, I'm going to be doing the meditation, the journey to the Illumination Temple. So if you want to do that, set it up to be comfortable. And as I read, I'll ask the guides and everything to come through for all of you to take you to the fifth dimension, wherever, whatever teachers are need to come in and heal your crown chakra. So allow that to come in and allow them to start helping you. Try to understand and invite this. How can we consciously evolve our human mind to invite or to unite with the divine mind? Adam, every day invoke the energies of illumination to unite your human brain. Strive to expand your consciousness any way you can, such as reading material that inspires you, meditating, communing with nature, etc. You do not want just to feed the mind information, but you want to nourish your heart and soul with all that is noble, beautiful, and enlightening. Go into your heart and begin to unite your energies with the divine within you. In the process of ascension, your transformed mind will unite with the sacred heart, but the heart will ascend first, and you will experience divine union. All your chakras will become unified, and you will no longer feel separated from the rest of you and of the universe. They will remain as different foci, but all unite at the same time. Also, many more chakras will be added onto you as you see how powerful that is. This is why an ascended master is an enlightened being. And that's the only way you can become an ascended master or go into the fifth dimension and things. The seven sacred flames. So you have to understand all these things. They will remain as different foci, but it all unites at the same time. Also, many more chakras will be added onto you. You see how powerful that is? This is why an ascended master is an enlightened being. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission or nudging to start this process, and everybody can do this, and we need to. Begin now if you want this illumination and take place within you. Years ago, I used to tell Cindy one day the crown chakra and the base chakra will all come together into the heart and they'll all unite, and then you become the whole divine being. And people don't understand this. They just want to blow their chakras apart with Reiki, with all kinds of blissing out, with yoga, anything. They're just pounding on it. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. And I keep saying that because it is a truth. There's a way of doing this the right way. And there's a lot of teachers and all kinds of things that can help with it. So, group, if you were called on the illumination ray during my sleep, what initiations and process would I be going through? Where would I be taken? Adam, we suggest that you call the illumination ray during the wake time. In your sleep, you know all of this. It is in the consciousness of your waking time that you need to integrate the wisdom you are learning during your sleep time. That's why I say you got to remember your dreams and everything. It's important. Write it all down. Even how crazy it seems, everything. Pay attention. Be awake. So, your waking time, you need to integrate the wisdom you learned during your sleep time. Who you are on the other side of the veil as a conscious self is very well informed and has no problem. But when we wake up, that's where we go into confusion. Ariella, when I go places in my sleep time, I know that it is not necessary at the time that I consciously remember where I have been and what I have learned. I feel that it is more important that the knowledge I gain during nighttime be integrated in my daily life. Adam, exactly. You are not meant yet to remember your nightly adventures because they are so wondrous that if you remembered, you would have no more interest in bringing to completion your third dimension experience, and it would set you back. Once you set up your intentions with your guides and masters to do and learn certain things during your sleep time, they will take you to all kinds of wondrous places that will assist you to meet your goals, but you will not remember. For example, if you want to go to the Illumination Temple, they will take you there. There are more than one on the planet, and you can visit them all if you wish. In fact, you have already done that more than once. We also have an Illumination Temple in our city. We have created a bridge of light between the Temple of Telos and the one in South America in the Royal Teton Retreat. The main focus of Lord Lantos in our realm, they are not energetically separate. We all work together as one group. Do we come to work on only one ray during our lifetime? Adam, not exactly. In one incarnation, most of you work at least on two rays, primary ray and a second ray in which you want to gain more attainment. In one lifetime, you could be working on the second and third ray, but you have the incarnations working on all the other rays as well. The ray that you are working on in this life is not necessarily indicative of your original monadic ray. So you have a certain ray that you are all since, everything. When you ascend, you usually return in service to your original monadic ray. Ariella, how does the illumination ray balance our mental, emotional, and physical bodies? And this is where a lot of people need to heal us. This is where people, like I say, go crazy and everything, trying to abuse stuff, trying to force things, trying to bliss out. And a lot of people go kundalini cuckoo, forcing yoga. They spin right out, trying to blow their chakras right apart. The illumination ray alone does not balance all your bodies. The main purpose to assist the attainment of true wisdom, knowledge, illumination, and integration of the divine mind. Each ray has a different action. They are all complement. They are all complement or complete each other's equally. Your world right now is flooded with information. This is why right information is so needed and discernment so important to develop. which is also the second ray attribute. Group Adam. Would Gandhi, Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy be considered second ray beings? Adam. John F. Kennedy was a first ray being, the ray of leadership and the will of God. Gandhi was a third ray being of love and compassion. Martin Luther King was also a first ray being. Leadership is mostly a first ray activity. So if you are a leader, then you're first ray. So that is the throat chakra. Leadership is mostly a first ray activity, but not exclusively. Not only beings of the first ray take the role of leadership in your world, beings of all the rays also bring their gifts in leadership roles from time to time in order for all of the rays to be demonstrated. Group, can you explain the misuse of the second ray? Adam, some of the misuses of second ray would be to use knowledge in the wrong way or to entertain conscious ignorance. And this is where people want knowledge, but they don't want to heal and change. And some people want to tell you they're gurus and they're ancient souls and all kinds of stuff and they're masters, and they'll teach you all kinds of stuff that's not good. Lots of them out there now. Lots of Pharisees, lots of people trying to deceive and fool everybody. Some of the misuses, second ray, would be to use knowledge in the wrong way or to entertain conscious ignorance, such as not wanting to see things as they are, entertaining illusions about life and self, and also the misuse of the second ray. I'm going to talk for a moment about the heart. The human mind and the brain are tools that you have in the third dimension that have been designed originally to always be at service of the heart. Your heart is connected to the divine mind of God until you reach a state of union with self. Your mental and ego mind needs always to be consciously at the service of the heart. In time, it becomes a natural state of beingness. When you are constantly working or acting through your human mind instead of your heart and not connecting with the higher purpose of life, that state of consciousness creates a misuse of the second ray. Through spiritual ignorance, control, and manipulation of the ego mind, some people have great human intelligence but have no spiritual wisdom. They often use that great intelligence in the service of the altered ego instead of seeking the oneness with all that is. Do you understand? You can only change your own perspective on things and embrace the energies of love, peace, and harmony for yourself first. That's why you have to heal yourself first. And then when you own enough of it, you can radiate it to others around you simply by being who you are. When everyone in the population starts accessing the God mind through the heart, your governments also begin to change and mirror the new consciousness of the collective. And that's where my Sunday prayer, I say, make your heart a sacred temple where God comes through. All your knowledge, you connect your heart to your mind to your heart. That's the biggest journey. And it's about 4 feet. As you change, as a collective evolves its consciousness, so will the governments also change. This way you begin to see that it is never about them, about all of you together. So everybody, our collective minds, is how the government is run. Your governments also reflect the consciousness of the people they govern. As you evolve, you will have the wisdom to elect more enlightened beings as your leaders. They are your mirrors. Ariella, what are the side effects of the misuse of the crown chakra and how would it show up in the physical body? And this is where a lot of people, you'll see this in people who abuse all kinds of things and they want to be blissed out, all kinds of stuff. Adam, you know the crown chakra is an instrument and the seat of the mind of God in the physical body designed to reflect knowingness, wisdom, and illumination. Those who are consciously misleading people, controlling and manipulating using their human knowledge for their own benefit in time will face the harvest of their creation as karma. Some of the ways it may return can be as mental illness, as Alzheimer's, as Parkinson's, lost memory, or mental dysfunctions or diseases. As you get older, You are meant to get wiser and embrace more and more of the mind of God. The opposite is quite prevalent in your society as people get older. Many people in nursing homes or mental institutions have reached a state of mental deterioration to the point of not being able to relate to their own name anymore or recognize their loved ones. Let us do a meditation and go to the Illumination Temple on the etheric plane. So, this is the meditation. If you want to do it, it's a few pages I will read, and you can relax, close your eyes, and we'll call in the teachers and the guides like Lantos and all these ones that will help you to heal your crown chakra. So we'll call in Lord Lanto, we'll call in where is it, Gautama Buddha, we'll call in Lord Maitreya, we'll call in Sananda, Jesus, Master Kathumi, and Confucius. So while you're doing this meditation, they will help you to heal billions of years of misuse of all kinds of knowledge and things you believe even in now today, you want to clean up and get rid of. So the journey to the Illumination Temple with Adam and Lord Lantos. Adam, we have an Illumination Temple in Telos, which is a small replica of the main Temple of Illumination for the planet at Lake Titicaca in South America. The majestic South America Temple is maintained under the leadership of the god and goddess Miru, very highly evolved beings, custodians of the energies of the rays for this planet. At this time, we are taking you to the one in Telos, which holds the same ray frequency. So allow yourself to relax and allow these spirits and that to help you to go to this place. I ask that you focus on your heart and set your intentions to come along on the journey with us to the Temple of Illumination in our underground city. Ask your guides and your higher self to guide you in consciousness to come with us. We have a huge Merkaba that will comfortably contain all of you. We invite you to step in for a ride. See yourself arriving in Telos at the gateway of the temple. From a distance, you see the eight-sided golden yellow structure radiating like a sun. It emanates as illumination energy rays for several hundred miles into the atmosphere of the surface of the planet, also connecting to the crystalline grid which distributes this energy everywhere on the globe almost instantly. See yourself walking up to the 24 steps to this gateway of light. As you set your feet on the last step, some of our people from Telos, who are the gatekeepers, greet you. They invite you to step into the specific area of the foyer to be immersed in a shower of golden light rays that will clear and prepare your energy field to receive in the temple. At this point, each of you is assigned a Lemurian guide that will be your escort and mentor for your experience beyond the gateway. It is then that you are greeted on the other side by the most splendid team of second-ray masters, Lord Maitreya, Lord Buddha, Lord Sananda, Lord Lantos, Confucius, Dajwalkal, and Kathumi, extending to you all the love of their hearts. They bid you their most heartfelt welcomes into the beautiful entryway, like a huge porthole, where everything that you see radiates like the sun. There is no words in your language to describe what you see and experience. Use your imagination to create your experience more clearly. Imagination is a faculty of the divine mind, where all past and present experience store their imprints that you can retrieve later on in your conscious state. Allow your heart and consciousness to bathe and be imprinted with all that you see and perceive with the eye of the soul. See how everything here reflects the golden sun of the love of the Creator for that ray. Notice and breathe in the energies of numerous fountains and golden liquid light that springs out from the center and along the walls of the great hall of illumination. See the flowers of colors shimmering with tones of golden mist, anointing their heavenly scent everywhere you look. Imagine also a wide variety of golden flowers, golden yellow flowers of different shades and size, growing together in the most stunning, harmonious, and spectacular decor, creating a symphony of love, illumination, and wisdom everywhere you look. Pay attention to the details of the floor, walls, ceilings, and the beauty that's surrounding you. As you walk towards the front of a huge temple room, a large vessel is erected where the unified flame of illumination is brilliantly burning. Also notice the Master of Wisdom who stands around the illumination flame. See how, by their constant outpouring of love and nurturing, they create and nurture an ever spiraling expansion of that unified flame of light. Without the nurturing of the flame of God by those dedicated to that service, these various flames would become extinct. The only source of fuel for these flames stem from the fire of love and dedication springing forth from the hearts of those who tend them. By their love and dedication, they keep these flames alive and bright for the benefit of humanity and the planet. Keep breathing in, beloved ones. It is a rare gift offered to you at this time. The door of this temple are not always open to the unascended beings. You are here today by special dispensation. I encourage you to offer your deepest gratitude to Lord Maitreya and other masters mentioned above who have volunteered to hold the energies for you here so that you can be allowed entrance. For those reading this material and desiring this experience, to experience the same, if your desire is pure and sincere, you can receive the same dispensation. Continue to pay attention to the guide that has been assigned to you. Much wisdom and understanding can be shared through this interaction. Now you are invited to sit on a golden crystal chair in front of the master golden flame. Feel the energy of the brilliant flame penetrating every cell particle of your etheric body. Continue breathing in this energy as much as you can as you focus on this wonderful bright flame of illumination. It is about 60 feet tall, nourished around a clock by love of our people, the love of the ascended masters and angelic beings. Focus on the flame through your breath and connect in your heart with the mind of God and the masters of wisdom who nurture the flame. Connect your heart with the hearts and ask them to imprint their love and dedication into your DNA and into your chakras. Bring in, bring in your altered ego there, as it is also divine and an integral part of you. It is not a part that you can get rid of, but the part of you that needs to be transformed back to the original purpose. It is destined to transmute, unite with the divine in the ascension process. This part too needs to be understood and nurtured by your own self love. Take that separate aspect of you, your human mind, your altered ego, and simply saturate it with these aspects of illumination flame. Talk to these parts with great love and compassion like you would a child. Tell the human ego that it is divine and loved, and ask it to surrender to the great wisdom of the flame of illumination to receive its love. Do this to infuse your life with a greater integration of wisdom and inner knowingness. When you experience challenges in making difficult decisions in your daily life, always bring in front of your inner eye this beautiful golden flame of illumination and wisdom. Ask to be infused with the greatest insights of whatever you need to know in the now moment, or for the choices you have to make. This is how you will come out of the unawareness and spiritual slumber, and this is also how you are going to learn discernment. This is how your thoughts will become one with the thoughts of God, and will assist you to come out of limitation. All the flames can assist you in their own way to restore your spirit of limitlessness so that you can, once again, walk the earth like wise masters and sages. Also, ask for this energy of knowledge to be integrated into your conscious mind. You may not remember all the details, but the knowledge will be imprinted into your soul. That is most important. You all have too many erroneous belief systems imprinted in your soul that keep you in pain and limitations. Ask that these presented to the forefront of your awareness, then understood, cleansed, and healed by the illumination flame. It is a gradual process requiring your intentions and your full participation. Keep merging more deeply with the mind of God, which represents the intelligence of the heart. When you feel complete, stand up and walk around with the guide and ask questions for which you are seeking answers. This temple is vast with many facets, sections, and chambers. Carry on, resting your soul and your heart in the beautiful energy which also represents the sun of your divinity. It is through the mind of God, through the illumination flame, that all knowledge will be assessed and delivered to your conscious mind when you align with it fully. Now come back to your consciousness and into your physical body. Intend to bring back with you as much as you can of your journey into the temple of illumination. You now have permission to return any time you want, as long as you remain in alignment with love energies of the second heart. There are great numbers of masters of wisdom in the ascended state serving in various temples of illumination. Many souls come at night for the classes and private tutoring with the masters in one of many areas of these temples. There are no fees for the class except for the willingness to love, to evolve your consciousness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Be happy, grateful, and harmonious with self and with others. I thank you, my friends, for coming with us today. We send you our love, our wisdom, our support, our discernment. Know that you can tap into the mind of God at any time you want. The more you do this consciously through the heart, the greater and the wiser being you will become. The sooner you will meet face to face with all of us, and so be it. Ariel, Ariella, thank you. Adam, you are so precious, and also thank you on behalf of the group here. Adam, I am your mirror, my dearest one. You are all very precious as well. So tomorrow I'm going to start the next flame, and this is the Kohan Paul the Venetian. So that's him. And this third ray, which I'm going to be reading tomorrow, I'll read the main God qualities and the actions of the third ray. So when I start reading this tomorrow at 10. So it's unconditional love, omnipresence, compassion, true brotherhood, charity, love in action, love of the Holy Spirit, also initiation of the heart chakra. So this third ray is the heart chakra, and the color is pink. Corresponding stones are rose quartz and ruby. So those are the colors. The Kohan of the third ray is Paul the Venetian. This master also holds the office of the Maha Kohan, which represents the office of the Holy Spirit for this planet. His retreat is the Chateau de Libret, situated in southern France near Marseille, the Temple of the Sun, New York City. So we go to the Temple of the Sun. Paul the Venetian is energy and guiding teacher there in the New York City. As a planetary Maha Kohan, he also has a retreat in Ceylon called the Temple of Comfort. The archangels of the third ray with divine complement are Chamil and Charity, so Chmuel and Charity. Their retreat is in St. Louis, Missouri. So if you ever go to St. Louis, Missouri, their retreat is there, and they are Jamil and Charity. The Elohim of the third ray with divine complement is Heros and Amora. Their retreat temple is in Lake Winnipeg, Canada. So if you want to connect with the one in Lake Winnipeg, it's Heros and Amora. If you want to connect with the one in St. Louis, it's Jamil and Charity. If you want to connect with the one in Chateau de Libret in the southern France, in Marseille, is Paul the Venetian, the Temple of the Sun in New York City, and then the Kohan in Ceylon, called the Temple of Comfort. So he's the one that is the teacher's there. So if you want to astral travel and go there, or in the night to go there to heal your crown chakra, then this is where you will go, and these are beings that will help you. And this is where you want to go up higher and higher and higher in all this truth, understanding. It's your choice, your evolution. Yes, Lake Winnipeg. And like I say, I told you which ones to meditate and connect with. And they will help you to also heal the different chakras. So the chakra tomorrow we'll be reading about is the heart. So tomorrow will be here. And these are, like I say, Paul the Venetian and that. So that's a temple you will connect with. So tomorrow I will do that. In the back there's prayers also. And there are different prayers for so there's a prayer of surrender, for the force field of protection, the call of illumination flame, invocations to the sun, prayers of invocation of the third ray, the rose pink flame of cosmic love, prayer of divine love, prayer of invocation of the fourth ray, dazzling white ascension flame, ascension affirmation, prayer of invocation of the fifth ray, emerald green flame of healing, prayer to request miracles. I now accept my abundance, so the resurrection affirmation, prayer of Saint Francis, prayer for invocation, seventh ray, royal violet flame of transmutation, flood the earth with the violet fire, and then about Aurelia Jones. So the prayer section, like I said, it has these prayers. So when I get to there, Cindy was wondering if I would do them today, but I think I will wait till I get to this point, because that's jumping ahead and I think it might get confusing. So I think I'll just keep reading and then go all the way through all the seven flames, and then we'll get to the prayers that you can actually use, and hopefully we will put it on our school site, so we will type it out so you can actually find that prayer, that color, and that other the knowledge that you need. Maybe I'll even put the teachers of the crown chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, whatever, and the prayers and that you, when you do them, you can connect. And if you do these on every day, like today is the color white, that's why I'm wearing a white t-shirt. I said I would start wearing the colors of the week that they're saying as I read this book.